All right, let's dive into something that sounds, well, completely backward. We're going to talk about how you can win just about any argument, not by being smarter or louder, but by losing it. I know, it sounds crazy, but stick with me. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You prove your point, you lay out all the facts, you are 100% objectively correct. And then, crickets. Just this thick, awkward silence. You won, sure, but it feels awful, and suddenly there's this tension in the room that wasn't there before. Okay, let's paint a picture. A classic low-stakes situation. Your roommate. The kitchen trash is overflowing, it's starting to smell a little funky, and you just know it's their turn. So you hit him with the classic opening line. Hey, it's your turn to take out the trash. And bam, of course they come right back at you. No way, it's yours. I did it on Tuesday. And just like that, it's not even about the trash anymore, is it? It's about being right. You're scrolling through text messages for proof, you're trying to remember the exact day of the week, you're basically building a federal case just to win this tiny battle. And hey, maybe you do it. Maybe you find the evidence and you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were right. You win. But what did you actually win? You're standing there, victorious, in a quiet, tense room. You've won the battle, for sure, but you kind of just damaged the whole vibe of your home. It's a textbook Pyrrhic victory. So what if being right isn't actually the goal? This is where we need to make a little pivot and think about what we're really trying to do here. Look at these two mindsets. On the left, you've got the standard approach. It's all about proving a fact, winning the battle, being right. But look at the column on the right. This approach focuses on the outcome. Things like keeping the peace and, actually solving the problem. And this is the light bulb moment. The real goal was never to get a gold medal in the argument Olympics. The real goal was to get the smelly trash out of the kitchen, without starting a Cold War with the person you live with. The argument is just a really bad, really inefficient way of getting what you want. So this brings us to the actual strategy. It's a super powerful way to get to that real goal, and it's got a pretty cool name. We call it graceful defeat. Now let's be super clear about this. This is not about being a doormat. It's not about being weak. It's a strategic, intentional choice. You're not saying you were wrong. You're simply deciding that being right in this tiny moment is way less important than the bigger prize, a peaceful, clean apartment. Okay, so that's the what. But how in the world do you actually do it? How do you pull this off without feeling like you've just caved? Well, it turns out there's a ridiculously simple, almost laughably easy way to do it. Here it is. 3 little steps. That's it. First, you apologize. Then, you agree with them. And then, you pivot to the goal you both share. I know. Every instinct in your body is probably screaming, no way, but I'm right. Just trust the process and see how this actually works. So, instead of firing back, imagine you say this instead. You're right, my bad, I'm sorry, let's just get this done so we can relax. Let's break it down. You're right, my bad, that's agreeing. I'm sorry, that's the apology. Let's just get this done so we can relax. Boom, that's the pivot to the shared goal. What is your roommate even supposed to argue with at this point? You've just sucked all the conflict right out of the room. So why is this so powerful? Let's get to the payoff, because this is where you really see how losing is actually the biggest win you can get. Okay, check out this comparison. Path 1, you fight to win. What's the outcome? Your roommate gets defensive, you might get a little flash of smug satisfaction, and then you both get to live in a tense apartment. Now, path 2, graceful defeat. Their reaction? Probably surprise, then relief. And your gain? The trash gets taken out, you keep the peace, and you get exactly what you wanted from the very beginning. At the end of the day, this works because it completely flips the script. The other person was ready for a fight, and you just disarmed them completely. It sends a clear message, hey, our relationship is more important to me than my ego. And maybe most important of all, it instantly changes the dynamic from me versus you to us versus this annoying trash. It's collaboration, not conflict. So I'll leave you with this. Think about those little arguments that pop up all the time in your life. You know the ones, with your partner, your family, your coworkers. Which one of those battles that you've been fighting over and over isn't actually worth the fight? And which one could you finally win for good just by choosing to gracefully lose?